Hey Chloe companions, we're diving into the golden playbook for natural hair that is often characterized as fine and low density. But before we get started, let's correct one thing. Fine hair is not a weakness. With the right care, you can actually turn your delicate fine strands into a dynamic growing machine. Let's break it down one step at a time. And while we're doing this, I'm going to be applying my shea butter, which is part of my mini braid regimen. And if you would like to know more about that, you can click the video up here. Step one, negativity has left the chat. So I think it's important for us to stop calling our hair fragile, stop calling it hard to deal with, and stop making it seem like it breaks easily. Now, this may be very much true. It's almost like someone calling, like you're the underdog, and someone just continues to totally underestimate your potential. So I don't think we should be saying these types of things over our natural hair. And instead, I think what we should say is that speak life into our hair and know that we have very delicate strands that love to be handled very gently, and you want to treat your fine strands as the royalty they are. That's it. Don't say negative things about it, and do your best to self-correct each time you say something negative about your hair. Okay. Step 3, protective styles are literally the secret handshake. For me, my protective style of choice is mini braids. And I usually let these live in my hair for up to 3 months. I don't recommend 4 because 4 will have you regretting it later. But up to 3 I think is good, or however your hair can manage, because I've seen some girls here on YouTube completely thrive with 6 months of wearing mini braids. They're washing it, they're brushing it, they're styling it, everything. No. My mini braids literally get touched once a day and they're thrown into a bun, and that's as simple as it gets. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, like when it gets to that 3-month mark or that 2-month mark or even the 1 month, depending on your hair texture, it can begin looking like it needs to be redone, right? And that's just the case of having type 4 kinky hair. I feel like if you have type 3 or less, not type 3 or less, I'm sorry, type 3, 2, or 1. I mean, I know our one girlies deal with frizz as well. I mean, I think all girlies, all types deal with frizz, but type 4, you have like this warp speed wear of a hairstyle. So for me, when it gets looking like that, I know for a lot of naturals, they'll just redo the front. I don't have time for that. The reason why I put mini braids in is so that I don't have to style my hair again for another time. So what I do instead is headbands. Headbands, head coverings, hats, scarves, horseshoes, clovers, and balloons. Like, I'm not touching my hair, so there are ways around hiding the frizz or hiding how old your hair is, because I'm starting to believe that frizz is just part of the human hair, and we need to stop trying to like make it do something I don't want to do. But anyway, that's just me. Now, fine point to make here is that protective styles do not grow your hair. Your hair is already growing, but what protective styles do is keep your ends from breaking off, because most of the time your ends are tucked away, they're hidden, and they're not breaking. Protective styles don't necessarily grow your hair, they just appear and seem like they do, because oftentimes when we are wearing protective styles, we're not really in our hair much. It's kind of hidden. So when you come back to it, it looks longer, because it's not the protective style that did it though. All right, step 3, shea butter. As I just showed you, shea butter is my secret weapon. Not because, I mean, I definitely felt inspired by a few girlies here on YouTube, but I've been a shea butter fan for a long time. And I think the reason why shea butter to me is better than like oil is because, I mean, grease too. I don't really like, my hair doesn't like grease, but my hair loves shea butter. But the reason, this is my theory. See, God created our hair, our scalp, to produce something called sebum, right? It's that oily substance that your hair, sebaceous glands, they produce that on your scalp, and it basically nourishes and moisturizes the hair. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say sebum doesn't moisturize, but if the creator put that in the scalp, I'm gonna have to go with he knows how to get hair growing. If I emulate sebum to my ends, then my ends will thrive as much as my roots. Because if you think about it, your roots are always thriving. Like, as soon as that sebum come in, that's basically in their growth zone. But the ends don't get that sebum, especially when you have kinky curly hair like me, when your hair shaft is very difficult for sebum to travel down, unlike straight hair. So why not emulate sebum by applying it on the ends? Now, shea butter and sebum, obviously they're not the same thing. I'm not saying that they are, but I think shea butter has that same sebum-like feel when sebum gathers on your scalp. It's almost like product buildup, but it's sebum buildup on the scalp, and so therefore why not create that same sebum buildup on the ends? And for me, that's what shea butter does. The only way to make this really work though is so that you're not killing your scalp is not to apply product on your scalp. Just let your sebum be the only buildup on your scalp, because I feel like that is okay. This is, to me, like, it's giving my hair grows when it's dirty. Granted, it's not that your hair is growing because it's dirty, but I think because of the sebum buildup on the scalp, your hair is thriving a lot more and that hair doesn't break off at the roots. And so that's why women will say that they feel like their hair grows faster or grows better when it's dirty, because one, you're not over manipulating it by having a wash day. Two, again, you're leaving your hair alone. And three, it's a long period of time that goes by and you're keeping a lot of those inches that you're growing per month. Even if it's just half an inch, you're keeping it. Step 4, I learned this from the Fairy Fro mother. Oh my God, like, what's wrong with me? The Jamaican accent. I got this trick from the Fairy Fro mother here on YouTube, Chris Lindsay. I love her. She's beautiful inside out. Anyway, she made this video about not using water, and she's not the first YouTuber I heard say this. They're like, instead of using water to moisturize or re-moisturize your hair, use water on steroids. So rose water, sometimes a tea rinse, depending on what tea it is, because tea will rot or spoil, so you don't want to keep that too long unless you refrigerate it. My water on steroid of choice is aloe vera juice. I love aloe vera juice, and like, because my regimen doesn't require me to be moisturizing my hair every day, I only apply it when I feel like my ends need a little TLC. But for the most part, this shea butter routine doesn't ever make my hair feel that way. That's the other step. And I was using the aloe vera juice prior to putting my mini braids in, and I tell you, it just seemed like my hair retains the moisture a lot longer, because I think there are more nutrients inside of aloe vera juice, and it just allows my hair to just stay hydrated and moisturized for a longer period of time than just water. Because I find anybody else, like, when I just spray water, it seems like it evaporates even after I apply oil or shea butter or a sealant. I feel like water just escapes my hair strands very easily. And I don't know my porosity. I thought I was low, and I think I'm high porosity, and I just can't really decide. So maybe I'm just normal porosity or medium porosity. Maybe that's what it is. So use water on steroids. And the last step, the last secret of having and growing healthy natural hair: do less. Minimalism is not just a lifestyle, okay? I think it's a hair care mantra as well. I think less is more. I'm all about that less is more life, and I know people call it minimalism, but I like it. It's a less is more. You know, simplicity is not lazy, it's smart. So I just don't have the energy really to be doing all these extra steps. And look, every now and then I love to do a good recipe, like I do, because I think hair recipes are just fun to do. But for the goal of growing healthy hair, you don't need to do a lot, because your body, as long as you're healthy, you don't have any medical issues, your hair is growing. Your job is just to retain the length and not do too much to your delicate hair. Keep your routine simple and stress-free. Speaking of stress, this is a bonus. I didn't even have this planned because I have my notes here, but I didn't even have this planned. But let me tell you, I just learned about how stress affects hair growth, thinning, loss, shedding. Avoid stress as much as you can, because you can have a really good routine and regimen. You can have the best products. You can have a nice, fast growth rate But if you are stressed, say goodbye to all of your efforts. Stress will definitely kill all your growth efforts, not just with your hair, but in your body, in your relationships, in your jobs, in your businesses, in your careers, in your life, your goals. Stress is a silent killer, and I really encourage anyone, like if you guys want me to do a video on how I keep stress far away from me, then I will do a video on that, because I realized that my hair has got to grow, so I gotta stay stress free. So as soon as I feel like something is stressing me out, I try to get to the bottom of it ASAP, because nothing is getting in the way between me and my bra strap length by the end of this year, okay? I'm done. My hair, oh my God, my hair feels so good. And what I do, again, we keep it simple here. I just pull out my little side hairs to frame my face. And I do a nice one more stretch there. Now, if you would like to see some other bonuses, I had sabotaged my hair for 3 years because I was doing 3 things that was absolutely, well, I was doing one thing that was absolutely unnecessary. So if you want to hear all about that, you can click the video here, which are my 3 tips for growing your teeny weeny afro to shoulder length in 3 years. It's not going to take you 3 years if you actually follow the steps in there. It took me 3 years and I figured it out by the end of the year that, you know, I really don't need to be doing this. So check that video out down below. Now, don't forget to smash that like button, leave a comment below, and subscribe if you're a new viewer and join the Coily Companions. This is a lit group on YouTube. Do we say lit anymore? Anyway, God bless you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.